The election intelligence dashboard. Let's get you the data of really how Lucknow polled back in 2017. Now, if in fact we look at this particular phase, 59 seats are up for grabs in phase 4. And this is very crucial because in these 59 seats, 51 of them went the BJP's way. Let me just show that for you, the breakdown of how this part of Uttar Pradesh voted in 2017. So you see the breakdown there of 59, 51 went to BJP and their allies. You had SP a distant second with their allies bagging only 4 seats. Now, if I were to focus on the Lucknow constituencies, first in Lucknow Cant or Lucknow Cantonment, there's been a lot of focus on this, particularly because of who the BJP has fielded. In 2017, it did go the BJP's way with Rita Bahuguna Joshi managing to ensure a huge win for the BJP. In Lucknow Cantonment, you had Aparna Yadav coming in second, which is why there was a lot of questions about whether Aparna Yadav would be fielded from Lucknow Cantonment now that she's with the BJP. That hasn't happened. Besides that, the other Lucknow seats, Lucknow Central again went to Brajesh Pathak. This time he was in Lucknow Central in 2017. Now, of course, he's contesting for the BJP from Lucknow Cantonment. Besides that, Lucknow East also, let me just take you through the numbers there. Here, again, you had a UP minister contesting, Ashutosh Tandon from Lucknow East, managed to win this time too. He is in fact contesting from the same seat. So if you look at how Lucknow has polled in 2017, they did in fact choose the BJP or the SP. The SP, however, didn't do badly either in these seats.
All right, so thank you, Akshuta. Akshuta taking us through the key fights right now in the 4th phase of polling. But let's cut across to our panelists to break it down further in terms of what is at stake. 59 seats are up for grabs in this phase, spread across 9 districts. Certain key districts in the spotlight like Lakhimpur, Kheri being one, Unnao being one, and of course where we are standing right now, Lucknow. Let's go to Sandeep Shastri first. Sandeep Shastri, why is it that this phase is considered the most crucial as we run up now after this to the last 3 phases?
This phase is considered crucial, I would say, for 3 reasons. Number one, because you are having a multi-cornered contest in Uttar Pradesh, this phase becomes important because this phase can be a make or break for key groups. For the BJP, which did well the last time around in the constituencies which went to voting in this phase, winning 51 of the 69 seats, to be able to sustain the momentum of last time is critical to them. There is, of course, an important difference. Last time, they were the challengers and they were taking advantage of the incumbency factor which the Samajwadi Party was facing. This time, they are the incumbent themselves and will have to project their achievement. For the Samajwadi Party, this phase is extremely crucial if they want to make a dent and if they want to challenge the BJP's continuing in power. So for both the key players, the Congress, for the Samajwadi Party as well as for the BJP, today's election trend will be crucial. And as you have been saying, for the Congress, which has been battling to retain the 4th position in Uttar Pradesh, today is important for them in terms of registering their presence, at least in a constituency or in an area like Raebareli, where their national president has been elected from. So for all the 3 important players, the Congress, the Samajwadi Party and the BJP, today is important for different reasons.
Sanjay Singh, how does it, 2017, the BJP showing was as good as it could possibly get. That's a dream run for any political party to take 51 of the 59 seats in this particular belt. At a time when there is no at least anecdotal, reportage that there is a wave or there is ke hawa hai ya wave hai, leher hai. In those circumstances, how difficult will it be for the BJP where the fight has now come down to seat by seat?
Let us compare with 2017. How many people actually said there was a wave in favor of BJP in 2017? Most opinion polls and surveys predicted a hung assembly, and most analysts also talked about hung assembly. That was not so. In fact, I can stand and say that then BJP was winning. I, for one, was among few who actually wrote it. Now, coming back to 2022, except for phase 2, which I think was very good for Samajwadi Party and toughest for the BJP. Also in 2017, Phase 2 was good for Samajwadi Party. 1/3 of the seats came from Phase 2. Except that this phase, of course, is important because as I see 3 phases before and 3 phases after this, half of UP Assembly, as you said, 231 seats would have gone to poll by this evening. And therefore, this becomes important. BJP is holding on to its position in many areas. Local issues, seat by seat, I would beg to differ a bit because local issues, as we talk, what are those local issues? Local issues are about power. Local issues is about road. Local issues is about drinking water. Local issues are about ration supply. I have seen in many areas where people actually, local issues and people voting out there also do have a caste and do have their preference, which goes beyond whatever are the local issues. Talk to any people, say 90% plus, there is strategic shift, as we all know, in terms of Muslim communities' preference towards Akhilesh Yadav. There are hardly any percentage of people who are voting for BSP or Samajwadi Party or for AIM. What is happening there is exactly what had happened in West Bengal. If you go to Yadav, 95% I would say would vote for or will show their preference for Akhilesh Yadav. Same happens if you go to the other side. So local issues, there are also areas where people actually don't know in urban pockets as to who their local candidate is, and they're voting either for Akhilesh Yadav or for Yogi Adityanath. There are also situations where sitting MLA has huge anti-incumbency, but in those cases, mostly BJP. Some people are voting for Yogi Adityanath and not for the candidate. So therefore, I have a slight difference of view, seat by seat contest in the sense that local issues are becoming prominent. Where actually challenge for BJP lies is the areas where Muslim Yadav population comes to around 30-35% or say around and the difference because the reverse polarization is not strong despite many people believing in it. The reverse polarization is not there. Therefore, if there is a gap of say 5,000, 10,000 votes or slightly more, then the candidate's caste put by Samajwadi Party becomes very important because he is going to pocket some of votes which other parties may have fielded. Akhilesh Yadav there has a strategy. He had chosen candidates in some areas where BJP's candidate and Samajwadi Party's candidate caste are the same. So therefore, there is some split of votes and their contest in those pockets, the contest becomes very interesting. A word on Raebareli. I have been to Raebareli. Mark my word, people are very, very unhappy with Priyanka Gandhi. Aditi Singh, in any case, in last assembly elections, was basically an independent candidate fighting on Congress symbol because her father, Akhilesh Singh, was very important person out there. He always stood against Congress and won against Congress, whichever party he went. The other person has also from Harsanpur has gone to the BJP. I think, to my assessment, if Priyanka Gandhi goes to Raebareli to contest 2024 in place of her mother, the going is going to get very tough for Priyanka Gandhi. An example of that, Priyanka Gandhi was to address a rally in Pachwara, and people were gathered there from 10 in the morning, and Priyanka Gandhi actually landed there at 5. These are not the ways you actually go in modern day democracy. Because that sense of entitlement in other areas.
All right, I want to cut across right now to I want to cut across to Abhishek Sudhir. Abhishek Sudhir, drawing you into this conversation, Sanjay Singh elucidating that while it's not going to be that tough for the BJP will maintain its stronghold, which is this particular region. It's equally important for the Samajwadi Party. This 7-phase election is going to pretty much, this phase marks on how the Samajwadi Party moves forward in the last 3 phases.
Well, Preeti, I think just saying Muslim Yadav is a lazy trope. I think Mr. Yadav has significantly expanded his caste base, his voter base in this election. Let's take the case of Naresh Uttam Patel. He's the state president of the Samajwadi Party. He'll be voting in Fatehpur today. He's a Kurmi, right? So no, you cannot just win and cannot just become Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh by catering only to Muslims and Yadavs. Even Mulayam Singh Yadav had very tall non-Muslim, non-Yadav allies like Beni Prasad Verma, like Janeshwar Mishra. So this is a lazy trope, and I completely disagree with this. Preeti, my analysis is Uttar Pradesh is witnessing a churn. We are seeing the end of what I would say is almost a 32, 33-year cycle. In December of 1989, Mulayam Singh Yadav became a Janata Dal Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh and began the Mandal Kamandal phase of Uttar Pradesh politics. Since then, the people have tried the BJP, they've tried the SP, they've tried the BSP, right? SP, BSP multiple times, BJP also multiple times. Now what you have is that there's a preference from the voter to give a clear mandate. They want 5 years. They want to give 5 years. The Uttar Pradesh voter has matured, and you will see a clear mandate this time as well. Now the question is, which way will they go? I think Lakhimpur Kheri is very instructive, Preeti. And the actions of Varun Gandhi is something I want to focus on. Varun Gandhi, the MP from Pilibhit, has essentially been campaigning against the BJP because Varun Gandhi has his eyes on 2024 and he knows that his core voter base there in Pilibhit is extremely upset with the BJP because of the farm laws and the incident with Ashish Mishra. What Lakhimpur Kheri also highlights, Preeti, is the internal tensions within the Bharatiya Janata Party. Yogi Adityanath wanted Ajay Mishra's son removed. That was vetoed by Amit Shah, right? So there is that internal tension there. Rakesh Tikait, if you remember, was sent and was given a free pass by Yogi Adityanath to go and pacify the farmers. So that civil war within the BJP is also brewing in Lakhimpur Kheri. I just want to say, Preeti, that this election is a shape-shifting election. If the Samajwadi Party and Akhilesh Yadav are able to pull off this election, Mr. Yadav gets into the conversation of is he a prime ministerial candidate with Mamata Banerjee. If he's able to not pull it off, but he's able to put up a fantastic performance as well, like 150 seats, he's still in the conversation. But I think the future of Uttar Pradesh politics, the future trajectory of Uttar Pradesh politics, whether it will be a BJP versus SP fight, will be decided today. And one last thing, 10 seconds just to request, the Congress, right, is also in the game. They're experimenting with this Ladki Hu Lad Sakti Hu. Maybe they're laying a foundation 2027. So very, very interesting. But I feel Akhilesh Yadav is still in pole position. Is there a wave? We'll only know after the result.
Okay. All right. Okay. You know, our national affairs editor Rahul Srivastav just tells me that Akhilesh Yadav's chopper, we just had a chopper which flew, clearly campaigning for the 5th phase already on. We just saw his chopper fly by in Lucknow. But want to take two very quick questions from our reporters. Supriya Bharadwaj is joining us from Unnao. Taking off from what our last panelist was saying, Supriya, this is going to be a prestige fight for the Congress in Unnao. You know, they might not be in the game, in the running, where Uttar Pradesh is concerned. They might be, like they say, laying the foundation, you know, like most of them tell you off record, for 2027. But the Unnao fight is important to them. This is where Priyanka Gandhi launched her campaign, where women are concerned. Ladki Hu Lad Sakti Hu. This is where the first ticket was given to the Unnao rape victim's mother.
Well, absolutely, yes, as far as the Congress is concerned, for them also it's a battle for prestige and that for the vote share. The Congress party is also eyeing the vote share. But what is happening at grassroots level, I would like to show you in one thing. There are this BJP as well as the Samajwadi Party's booth, and people are really upbeat. When we talk to these people, they are the polling agents, they are at the same time also the booth management committee members, and they are saying even if it's going to go by afternoon or so, they will continue to sit here. They were just having a fun talk, banter at each other because some of the people were saying that Samajwadi Party people are only 2 present here, and both of them, they said, when we asked as to what is happening in Uttar Pradesh, they said sirf do hi hai. So this is what the mood at the ground level is also. The fight is between BJP and Samajwadi Party, and the people over here are saying it is a kaante ki takkar. What is really interesting is now the Congress party has tried its level best to make a different kind of a noise. Preeti, they are going all out and are talking only about 3 key issues, whether it is the farmers, whether it is the women, or whether it is the youth related to the unemployment. At the same time, also that of apart from unemployment, the inflation. Today morning only, Priyanka Gandhi tweeted about the issue of Lakhimpur Kheri. She said that it is really strange that it is not the government which has gone out and approached the Supreme Court against Mr. Tenney, but it is the family members of the victims who have gone to Supreme Court. At the same time also, here we are in Unnao. The rape victim's mother said that what talks of law and order, there is no law and order present in this state. So this is the battleground where the Ladki Hu Lad Sakti Hu campaign's litmus test is going to take place.
Right.
But one thing is for sure, as far as Uttar Pradesh election is concerned, it is truly electrifying because the voters are really charged up, the parties are really charged up. We will have to see as to what is going to happen on 10th of March. But right now, it might be a cliche, but the festival of democracy is what the Uttar Pradesh is celebrating today.
But isn't politics all about cliches? Mostly there. Appreciate you joining us, Supriya. Like you said, everyone's working hard. So are the reporters. Trust India today to get you the front row seats to this political action. We're going to close this show. I thank Rahul Srivastav, my colleague, with his bunch of notes that he's made over the course of the last over 40 days that he's been reporting through the course of the state of Uttar Pradesh. We're going to see you there as a poll roundup this evening on our special show at 7 p.m. Do join Rahul and I. What we are going to do right now as we sign off by the banks of the river Gomti at this riverfront, listen in to Malini Avasthi. Bhojpuri singer, she cast her vote a short while ago. We leave it at that. We'll see you at 7 p.m. this evening.
मालिनी जी, आज महापर्व है, एक तरह से लोकतंत्र का उत्सव है और आप जिस तरह से तैयार हैं उससे लग रहा है कि उत्सव की तैयारी आपने पूरी कर ली है।
बिल्कुल, और मुझे लगता है सबको होना चाहिए क्योंकि बाकी सभी पर्व त्योहार तो साल में एक बार आते हैं। ये 5 वर्ष में आने वाला एक बार एक ऐसा मौका है जहां पर आपको ये आज़ादी है, आपको ये स्वतंत्रता है चुनने की कि आप किसे चाहते हैं कि वो निर्णय ले आपकी ज़िंदगी कैसी होगी, ऐसी सरकार चुनने का। तो मुझे लगता है आज तो वाकई उसी उत्सव के उत्साह से ही तैयार होना चाहिए और जाना चाहिए वोट डालने के लिए। प्रेरित भी करना चाहिए कि बाकी सब आपके आस पड़ोस सब लोग भरपूर संख्या में वोट डालें।
अपने अंदाज में कैसे कहेंगी महिलाओं?
देखिए, एक सहेली दूसरे सहेली से कहेगी, गुइया चलो छैया छैया मैं वोट डालूं, गुइया चलो छैया छैया मैं वोट डालूं, 5 बरस पे वोट पड़त है, अरे चलू पड़े वोट जौने ठैया मैं वोट डालूं। और जो वोट न डालने जाए तो कई बार हम लोग कहते हैं, अरे अमा यार वो जीत गया